Yes, let's continue this. Now in this case we have seen that primary, secondary and tertiary, the initial attack of H positive will depend upon the availability of lone pair on the nitrogen, or you can say electron density present on the nitrogen atom. Fine. One R group is there, less electron density, more 2 R groups, more electron density, 3 R groups, more electron density. So that means if we consider only plus I effect related to attack of H plus on the nitrogen, then in that case we will find that the order should be tertiary greater than secondary greater than primary, right? If only inductive effect is seen. But as we know, the reaction is taking place in aqueous medium. So that means the conjugate ion formed, its stability in water is also of equal importance. That means once it is formed, how much it is loved by water molecule, how many water molecule attract it, that will favor its formation, right? So if more water molecules or more extent of H bonding is there, that will favor its formation to a greater extent. Fine. Now just see, in the case of conjugate ion formed by primary, there is more extent of H bonding, and as we go down, this is formed by secondary, H bonding extent decreases, and there is very less H bonding extent due to availability of NH bond. Only one NH bond. There are 2 NH bond in this case, and there are 3 NH bond in the case of conjugate ion formed by a primary, right? So we'll see down, hydrogen bonding, the extent decreases, hydrogen bonding decreases, and the ion formed is less hydrated. Fine. So if down we observe, if say on the basis of hydrogen bonding, we'll see on the basis of stability of this ion formed, then the stability of alkylated ammonium ion formed shows that primary is more stable than secondary than tertiary. Fine. So if we have order of basic strength according to H bonding, then it will be of the same order as the order of the stability of the conjugate ion form. Fine. So, but as we know, the reaction is taking place in aqueous medium, so this effect is also important. This effect, that means plus I effect and H bonding, both are of equal importance. Moreover, in this case you will see, in case of primary there is only one R group, there are 2 R groups, and there are 3 R groups. So more the R groups, presence of more R groups is more steric hindrance around nitrogen-hydrogen bond. Fine. So as R groups are increasing, for example more R groups in tertiary, this also reduces the extent of H bonding in case of tertiary. So steric effect also gives you this order. Fine. So if we combine the two effects, then we will see, then in this effect tertiary is the most basic here, tertiary is least basic. Primary is least basic on the basis of only inductive effect, primary is the most basic on the basis of only H bonding as well as steric hindrance, right? But if you see carefully, if we combine these two effects, then we'll see it's the secondary amine in which all the factors are favoring. That means presence of 2 R group, there is enough electron density that attack of H plus is very fast. Fine. Moreover, presence of 2 R group, the hindrance is not that much high, and moreover there is not that much less H bonding. H bonding extent is sufficient because of 2 NH bond, right? So what has been found experimentally, that out of primary and secondary and tertiary, secondary are the most basic in aqueous medium. Fine. So I have initially given you the order with respect to presence of methyl groups with nitrogen and ethyl groups with nitrogen. Let's consider that order first. But one thing which we have decided is secondary are more basic than either primary or tertiary. They are more basic because the two factors rather than all the 3 factors, plus I effect, H bonding as well as steric hindrance, all factors favor the attack of H plus ion as well as the stability of the ion form, right? But the thing is comparison between these two. Now it is very interesting, if in some example, if in some compound the extent of H bonding is dominating, if it is dominating the plus I effect in tertiary, then primary will be more basic than tertiary. That's why I have already given you this order, that methylamine is more basic than trimethylamine. Primary, second. Right? Because, let me finish this. And this is one. Number two, if plus I effect, that is the effect of increasing electrodensity on nitrogen, is more dominating, is higher, is more dominating than H bonding, then in this case tertiary are more basic than primary. Right? For example, in the case we have here, trimethylamine is more basic than triethylamine is more basic than simply ethylamine. This is tertiary, this is primary. Fine. Now you see here one thing very important, why H bonding is dominating plus I effect here. Because we know methyl is a smaller group as compared to the ethyl group. So its plus I effect of methyl group is less than ethyl group. As a result, here plus I effect is not that much as compared to the H bonding in this case, because sterically this group is a smaller group. So this factor favors H bonding. It's a smaller group, its I effect is less than ethyl group, so plus I effect is not dominating. Therefore, tertiary in this case, tertiary is less basic. But in this case you see, as ethyl group have higher inductive effect than methyl group, then inductive effect is dominating, that is very large extent of electron density on nitrogen, so it highly favors the attack of H plus initially. Fine. And further it is somewhat stabilized by H bonding, not as much in the primary, but in case of primary here, though there is more H bonding, but I effect is dominating here as the H bonding in this case. Moreover, here the H bonding is not that much higher as compared to this case, because this is ethyl, which is a bigger group. So this is very important discussion we had, that in secondary all factors are favoring as compared to primary and tertiary, so their basic character is found to be highest as compared to primary and tertiary. But if there are certain compounds, like compounds of smaller alkyl group, hydrogen bonding will dominate and primary will be more basic than tertiary. But if the group is bigger group, in that case tertiary will be more basic as compared to primary, because I effect will dominate.